how do you handle family members who are enablers without them becoming defensive?
Well, I normally get people inadvertently to fess up to who, I'll have a group of a family on the phone with three or four, doing a conference call and just get to talking to them and develop the rapport and develop the trust and, and get them to
Mm.
really, really, and you can tell when they start telling you things about the family that they don't want, it's personal, right? And it's very evident that it's personal, but then you can really, it's a judgment call, but I'll even ask, I say, okay, well, who would you say is the enabler? And then sometimes the person will say, well, it's me, or daughter saying, well, I don't know, mom, who do you think it is, mom? Or and it doesn't necessarily have to be mom, it could be dad, it could be so people, even getting them to see, like, and it's very hard for some people to break it, because I've had and that's where doing the preparation with everybody first and I want to lay eyes on everybody in the room, because, that one person that shows up at the meeting before the intervention, oh, they're my long lost friend and they've been through this before and blah, blah, blah. And I've had them totally sabotage things. And so I can't afford to let that happen. Or, there's family members that will sit back and watch this thing go on for years, but the minute that you try to do something about it, then they want to step in and do something.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's like, okay, well, where have you been this whole time? Now that we're doing something, where you've been watching it, so I always have to watch. But I've had moms tell me, like, I just can't not, you know, stop doing the things that I'm doing. Again, I don't want to pick on moms. It could be any family member, but they just can't stop doing what they're
Yeah.
doing. And I'm like, so why are you doing that? Well, I just don't. And inevitably, it always turns out to how it's going to make them feel. So I get them to try to
Yeah.
see without pointing, say, so you're doing this because of how it makes you feel, not necessarily because it's what's best for your loved one. And sometimes they'll even say, yeah, you're right. But they won't change. So
Yeah. Totally.
it's like then you have to, you have other family members and you have to make a decision. A few years ago up in Ohio, they got together and they were going to intervene on their dad. And we went in and I sat down and talked to them. I met with them and I said, how are we going to do this? And so we worked it out to where we brought in some family friends, and then we brought in the pastor, and then we brought the mom, which was the wife.
The enabler.
She's the weak link. And we got everybody together. We put the plan together, and then we brought her over. We intervened on her,
Mm.
got her agreement, and then we did let her out of our sight until we got the dad over in front of us, so she wouldn't go and tell him what was going on. And then we sat there and for probably even that, so that started, like, it was all day. And then we finally, once we got in front of the guy, we were there for 6 or 7 hours before. And the pastor, I said, I want to take you everywhere with me, because things got heated and they got upset. He would calm everybody down. And he, when he started talking, he said, I want everybody to listen to me. But you could tell the way he was taking it, because they were very religious family. And you could tell the way he was going, to where it was like, okay, when he gets to where he's going, there's only one answer that this guy's
Yeah.
going to
Totally.
have. And he was doing it. And I was watching, I was like, this is like a work of art right here. And he got to where the finale, and it was like the guy just broke down. He just started bawling, and it was like, okay, well, and he and so it was beautiful. But anyway, I like to tell these stories, but we did an intervention on the enabler, and then we did the intervention on the
Yeah.
addict.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Because I think, there's a fine line between caring and enabling.
Yes, yeah,
Really.
yeah. I
Really.
mean, if I'm, you look at the perfect example, and so you keep tying your son's shoes, you know, just because you want to be mom, or you want to be dad, or you want to be big brother, I want to, because I want to care for this kid, but are you really caring for him by tying his shoes for him? I mean, it's like he's going to be the only kid in the 6th grade that can't tie his shoes, so